Hello, my name is Alistair, and I am the Bad Mini Painter. Now, I've chosen that name because YouTube are full of absolutely brilliant painters, and I'm not one of them. So, what can I actually teach you? Well, honestly, nothing. Besides how to get a decent job while being bad. So this is a Tau Crisis Battlesuit, and I'm going to paint it in 20 minutes or so, starting with a white surface primer. Afterwards, I go over the entire model, more or less, with the white scar from Citadel, which is a really nice color and a horrible paint to work with. And honestly, the worst thing about doing Tau is having to use this. But I generally just go all over the model and slap 2 coats of of white scar on it. I love doing the first coats because you don't have to be particularly careful. Next, we are going to do some Asian Grey, also Citadel, and I do that on selected armor plates, just to add variation. My normal process is to kind of dot down where I want to do it, and then go back and actually do it. The whole marking where to paint gives me an idea about how it would look, and if I change my mind, it's not too much to rework. Mephiston Red is solely for the head area thingamabob. I thought about doing the shoulder plate as well, but decided not to. Mephiston Red is a nicely pigmented paint. Pretty easy to work with. I thought this model was going to be hard to paint and take a lot of time, but it actually turned out to be really easy. Afterwards, I go in with red tone from Army Painter. I basically use that on all my reds. It doesn't darken down particularly, but it adds some shadow and some texture to even flat areas. It shades everything nicely, and the camera doesn't like to focus. Only downside is that it is a bit glossy, but I kind of like that aesthetic. So next I use graphite from Scale 75. All of Scale 75's colors are highly pigmented, kind of thick, so you have to thin it down quite a bit to make sure that it doesn't go all gooby and looks chunky, especially on something like the Tau, where I kind of want everything to be kind of clean. It can be an issue, but it's a nice color to work with. And it's just adding another kind of gray for a bit of variation. So black wash, which I wrongfully have put down as being an army painter, it is not. It is actually from Vallejo. And as a pro, I cover everything up with my hand, so please subscribe and like and ring the bell to see more of my hand. But generally what I do is that I run the wash into all the little panel lines, channels, thingamabobs. It adds a bit of interest. And then for all the joints, I use Balthasar Gold. I've been playing around with different metallics, bronzes and gold on my Tau models, and I think I pretty much decided that Balthasar Gold gives me the color that I want. So some kind of warm, not too shiny gold. So kind of a cross between gold and copper, I guess. Scale 75 has a gold paint called Woven Gold, something like that. I like that one too. And I use grays here for highlighting all my gray areas. And I try to just thin it down quite a bit, and then use the side of the brush on all the corners, like the pros does it. So, and often if I remember to thin down enough and don't have a lot of paint on my brush, it actually ends up looking kind of okay. I'm kind of an expert in having too much paint, and then my starting point will be this blob, and that looks quite horrible, but this time it went pretty okay. And I decide to highlight the helmet as well, and I do that with Wild Rider Red. And again, it's just to make things look a little bit more crisp. I promise you guys, I know we're now like 10-15 videos in. I am really working on where to put the camera so you can actually see what I'm doing. It's new to me, so I'm doing my best. I am sorry. Next, it's Abaddon, black for all the black parts, and this process was quite horrible. I should have started out doing that and then tried to fix everything with a white scar, but fixing black with white, that's horrible too. But the thing is that there's a lot of really hard to reach points on this model. Jesus, my hands are shaky. I must have low blood sugar or something. So this part was actually not fun. It was quite horrible having to paint everything black. Now for something that is fun. The lens. So first I dab it with ultramarine blue. That looks fine, but I want to be a pro. So let's add a highlight of Lothern blue that no one will ever notice, but I know it's there, so it's good. And finally, I can go in with the Incubi Darkness. I've been dabbling around with different kinds of highlights for the black parts of my Tau models, and I think I have decided that Incubi Darkness actually gives a really nice highlight. And I put it on fairly thick, but as you will see pretty soon, as soon as it dries up, it's more anomalous. So here's the final product, and I found an overlay. It's quite annoying. Yeah, so come with that. So it was actually pretty fast to paint up, and I could probably have done a better job if I put more time into it, but that's not how we do it on this channel. If you want good jobs, go watch people that know what they're doing. If you want well, I guess this. Oh, and at least I don't lie about my thumbnails. There's no Photoshop on my thumbnail images. Like, no filters. Oh, and here he is with all his buddies. Which was good. Man, I missed a lot of parts on those. Apparently the chest emblem was not something I found worth painting. Huh. Interesting. So, yeah. If you for some reason liked this video, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.